Good morning, Creative Warriors. Just getting a little bit of infrastructure started. And welcome to our third episode of The Warrior's Pen. And today we'll be discussing, excuse me a bit, to get this stuff done. We'll be discussing training like a Spartan, the the Spartan way to daily training. And if you've been here before, you might know that we've been doing the CWWs, but these are little, excuse me, morning voice. These are a little different, and we're discussing and blending, excuse me, warrior philosophy with writing discipline. So you'll have to excuse my voice; it's a little hoarse today. I don't know why. Could be, change of weather, change of the season, things like that. I have my coffee, so maybe that'll help a bit. Okay, so let's get into it. And if you are getting anything out of these episodes, this is season 1, episode 3. If you're getting out of these, please don't hesitate to subscribe, like, share. If you're a writer, and I don't say aspiring writer, you're a writer because if you're writing and you're doing the thing, then this is what you are. You're a writer. So if you're a writer and you're getting something out of these short episodes, then please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and telling other writers about this. And let's begin. Let's jump in. So today we're going to be looking at this from the point of view of Spartans. Remember, we're blending warrior philosophy. Wow. We're blending warrior philosophy with writing discipline. So today we're looking at Spartans. And every morning when Spartans wake up, they didn't ask themselves, do I feel like training today? That's not a question that they ever asked. The training was assumed, right? You as a writer, it should be the same. The writing should be part of your schedule. It should be baked into your day. And I'm not saying it needs to be 2 hours or half the day. It could be, many writers wrote on the way to work, on the train sometimes. Sometimes they dictated it in their phones, recorders. But the writing needs to be baked into your schedule. It needs to be part of your schedule. So if the Spartans woke up every morning and said, I need to train today, it was just assumed this is what I'm going to do today, your writing should be the same way. You don't negotiate with your schedule. Because if you do, you lose before you begin. So fit the writing into the schedule somehow. And I know some of us have busy days, busy lives. We're juggling many different things, but find a way to put that writing into your schedule. Okay. And so let's go back just a little bit. You have to excuse me, I'm still kind of getting used to all this new format, this new aspect for them. It's not like the Catholic classes that I do regularly. Okay, in ancient Sparta, right, going back, we're going to go back now. In ancient Sparta, boys, because this is the way it was, boys entered the agogate. The discipline was not optional. It was like, this was not a negotiation. This was something that just happened. The endurance was not admired. No, I was able to go. No, it was expected. You were supposed to be able to function within the framework of the discipline that was part of the agogate. You didn't get applause when you did things consistently. And this is something that, as writers, we sometimes forget that you shouldn't go into this expecting applause for doing what you're supposed to be doing anyway. This is what trips us up, right? The only consequence in the agogate, right, was weakness. If you were weak, if you quit, there were consequences. But if you did what you were supposed to do, it was basically, that's right, this is the way it's supposed to be, right? So Spartans didn't train for comfort, they trained for battle. It was a life and death thing for them, right? A Spartan trained for inevitability. So when you approach your writing for the day, that blank page is inevitable. You're gonna encounter a blank page. It's gonna be there, right? It's not going to look at you and say, oh well, you can do this, it's okay. No, it's just gonna stare at you, a blank page, whether it's a written page or a computer screen that's blank and the cursor's just blinking at you. It's inevitable. The question is, when you're faced with that blank slate, that blank page, Are you prepared? Are you prepared to face that, right? Are you prepared to go into, it's basically going into a battle, if you think about it. But you've got to be prepared for it. You can't walk onto a battlefield unarmed and expect to walk off and, be unscathed. No, you've got to go in there ready. You got to go in there armed. Okay. So here's one of the issues that modern writers have. Right? And I always think back to Ray Bradbury writing Fahrenheit 451, renting a typewriter, having to put dimes into that typewriter in order to continue writing. Did we do that today now with our distractions and our reasons? Let's just call them what they are, excuses. Because he didn't have much. It's like, you have to get this done, or you're gonna run out of money, or the story has to get written. No excuses, no weaknesses, right? So this is, and if this resonates with you, understand that this is not an accusation. I'm just shining a light on things that maybe need to look at so that you could strengthen that area in your writing life. Do you treat writing like a hobby? If you treat it like a hobby, you're not going to really dedicate as much time as you need to it, and you're not going to learn the craft the way you need to learn it, right? So Spartans, again, that's our focus for today, right? Spartans treated training like survival, because it was life and death. If you say, I'll write when I have time, think about all the things you have time. If you could take one day and just write down everything you have time for, you'd find that you'd have the time. You have the time. What you don't have is the structure. Let's just call it what it is, okay? And so the Spartan way of doing things, and again, this is not Spartan writing, but we're using them as a framework, right? The Spartan way of doing things was to remove choice. There's no choice. You don't have, there's nothing that's going to give you the option. Today I have to write. Okay, let's get it done. Get the writing in. Again, it doesn't have to be 10,000 words. It could be 500 words. It could be 100 words. But something should get done. You should figure it in. Maybe it's 3 increments of 15 minutes and you can just get 200 words in each section. That's okay. But you get the writing done. Okay? All right, so let me give you the application, because I try to give you some application to everything that we're talking about. Okay? So daily system. And again, work for it. Work towards getting this done. Sometimes you might make it, sometimes you won't, but it's a process, right? So if you can, same time, no debate. You're not going to argue with yourself about if you're going to write. Every time, every day at the same time, you sit down or you go wherever you go, create a writing space, a writing area if you can, and you write. And there's no debate about it. If you do it in the morning when everything is quiet, sometimes I like to get up really early. Everyone's asleep. The world is quiet. Before the world interferes, you get some words in. So but then that's me. That'd be the best thing for you. Find the time that's best for you. Sometimes maybe late at night, and it's really quiet again. You can do it. Okay. So find a time and work to make that the same time every day. And then no debate. Don't argue with yourself. Don't negotiate with yourself. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't try to convince yourself. Same time every day. Show up, get it done. Okay. 2, a non-negotiable minimum, whatever that is for you, whatever that looks like for you. It might be 2,000, 3,000 words for me, 5,000 words on a day where I have to hit a deadline really hard. It could be 100 words for you. It could be 200 words. It could be 1,000 words. Whatever it is, create a non-negotiable minimum. Today, I'm going to hit 500 words as an example. If you exceed the 500 words, that's good. But if not, you still win. Just hit that non-negotiable minimum. Okay, just trying to give you very easy steps, practical advice. 3, create an environment of discipline. Oh, this is one of the hardest ones. And I know you get into the groove, you're getting into the flow, and all of a sudden there's an interruption. All of a sudden the phone rings, and someone comes at the door. Something happens that distracts you. Clear your desk. I don't saying throw everything away. Just clear your desk. No phone, no noise. Try to get focused into this environment of discipline, right? If you think about the Spartans, they trained, and even like our military today, they trained in the worst possible conditions. Why? To get you ready for the distractions, to get you ready for when things don't go well. Okay? You can, and this could be you. You can endure a silent room, quiet. You can. I know sometimes the silence can be overwhelming, but you can. And I train, and well, it's not training. I write with music. I use music, but you don't have to. You could. Some people like writing with music. I do it. Some people have to have everything absolutely quiet. Find what works for you, but create this environment of discipline. Okay. Um, and then if you can, because it's really important, record the session. I'm not saying record it like what I'm doing right now. I said write it down, journal it, the date, the word count. Make a brief note. Writing felt like crap today. Writing felt great today. Oh, the words flowed today. The words were a struggle today. Because when you what you can measure, you can improve upon. All right. So every time you do a writing session, record it. It doesn't have to be a long thing. Just wrote 500 words. It felt great. That's it. It doesn't have to be long. But as you do that, you'll start. It's like you're rewarding yourself for completing what you said you would do. All right, let's continue. Okay. Um, the mental edge, because writers need to have that mental edge. All right. And this is something that's really important. So if you get anything from today's episode, from today's show, get this. Okay. And it's also part of the training, right? Discomfort is not a signal to stop. It's just proof that you're training. And sometimes the hardest training is the boring training, the grind, what seems to be the same day after day after day. It's like, I'm not making any progress. What's the point of this? That's when you have to keep going, okay? Writing can be incredibly dull at times because you're just doing the same thing over and over. It's sometimes we as writers like to glorify the writing. And like, God, inspiration hit me, and I flowed through 8,000 words, and whatever. That's rare. It doesn't happen every single time you sit down to write. What usually happens is you sit down, a page is waiting for you, and you write. You pull ideas out from the ether, from your imagination, and you write. And it could be dull. It could be really boring sometimes, but you get it done. Get your get your rear in the chair, and you get the words out. You get the words done. Okay, that's your mental edge. You continue even when it's dull. Spartans continued when it became painful, right? And there's this old saying that says, plan your work and work your plan and do what you say. So there's power, and this is for you. There's power in doing what you said you would do. And the great thing about that is that that power compounds. So it builds upon itself, right? So I want you to take this short episode 3 today. As a Spartan, you're gonna face difficulty, you're gonna face the grind, you're gonna face things that are boring, and you have to continue anyway. Discomfort is not a signal to stop. It's the proof that you're doing what you need to do. Okay? All right, let's close. I'm gonna close here. You don't need more inspiration, you have what you need. Okay? Don't use that as a crutch or an excuse. You have the inspiration you need. What you need, not more inspiration, you need standards. You're going to write today, I'm going to write today. I'm going to write 500 words, you write 500 words. That's important. Make an effort to train daily. When I say train daily, I'm not saying go lift some weights. I'm saying get the writing done as much as you can every single day. It keeps you in the story, keeps the story fresh, and it gives you that momentum, and that momentum compounds. And once you're done today, don't consider, okay, I'm done. Well, think about, I got to come back tomorrow. All right. So it's really important. I've got to do this today, but also I'm going to do it tomorrow. And then every tomorrow, you're going to do this. Okay. Most importantly, forge better stories, because we are in a forge when we're writing these books. Have a fantastic weekend. Take care. Don't forget that if you got something out of this episode, leave a like, subscribe, share this video with other writers, not aspiring writers, writers. That's what we are, writers. You are warriors, but you're also creative. Okay. And this has been the Warriors Pen. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you listening in, and I hope you got something out of this. Have a great rest of your weekend. Take care.